Hello. So today we have our guest, co-founder of LQI.com, and without wasting any time, I would like to introduce to her and ask her to introduce yourself to our viewers, and we take it forward from there. About your introduction first, and then we take it forward to LQI introduction.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, please.
So pleasure coming here and talking to you all guys. Myself Palak Kapoor. So I'm the co-founder for LQI. I'm an engineering graduate and have been working with a couple of companies like Subway and McDonald's. I used to handle the operations side of the business. Later, gradually with the Subway, I started with LQI, and I have been handling the operation side of the business for LQI as well. So if I talk about LQI, we are a health beverage, tech-enabled beverage brand wherein we manufacture 100% natural milkshake, smoothies, and fruit water frozen packs. So we use our proprietary technology and we give these packs to the restaurant partners. So we are currently doing this into a B2B business.
Okay, that's great. When did you started? And how this idea came into your mind, and what was your journey?
So this idea was a part of all these three founders of LQI.
Okay.
So this has been started by Shubham and me, as well as my third partner Kapil.
Okay.
So while we were in college, even Shubham and me are college mates. So while Shubham was in college, the initial idea for LQI struck his mind when he felt sick due to diarrhea.
Oh.
So he's a big time foodie and he used to consume these street foods. So while during that phase he felt sick, and when he visited doctor, he was prescribed with a list of medicines. So he was not a medicine person, so he had a thought that why not go for a juicer. Let's buy a juicer and have something natural and be fit again. So he bought $5,000 juicer, took all these vegetables, fruits from mess, and he used to juice them, and within 2 days he recovered. So that initial thought in mind, that the freshness, the natural things that we have available with us, we got to understand that this is the dearth that can eventually change the entire world. So while that was a very initial thought, but using that small juicer, while we were in the college fest, we put a small stall, and with that $5,000 juicer, we made around 25,000 money by selling these fresh juices to all our students in the college. So later on, we got into our respective jobs, but that small idea was still there in the mind, that doing something natural will definitely, is something that is our passion. And that's when the idea for LQI was born. So we started off with LQI in May 2016, wherein Shubham at that point of time was working with, he worked with HCL, then was working with Dell Computers. At that point of time, I was working with Subway. So we used to interact, and he used to share challenges, what he was facing while working with corporate. That people are due to their workaholic nature, they are consuming these Gatorades, these coffees, and on a day-to-day basis.
And dhabas outside,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Similarly, while with Subway, because I was looking after the operation side, I was going through the procurement and everything. So I used to find that farmers, because all these fresh things that Subway procures, farmers were never getting that value for the produce because of the middlemen. Because whatever they were cultivating, that was just going in the pockets of middlemen. At that point of time, we thought, let's do something that will help society, that will help farmers, that will help women. And that's when we started the concept of LQI. We quit our jobs, and because we both had that passion for food, but to be very honest, we never had that a degree or something which is for food tech, because we are both engineers.
Yes.
Later we kept finding, and we met Kapil. So he was he has done his master's in food technology and was working with a paper boat at that time, Hector Beverages. So he was heading the R&D department, and he was very impressed with the idea that we pitched him, and he came on boarded.
Okay.
So we three of us, with our different mindset, We started off with LQI. We started with the cold press juice initially. We pitched to multiple corporates, MNCs. We pitched to Innovate, which is Ritesh sir's co-working. What we were getting as a feedback was the product was very well accepted in the market, but the only problem was with the shelf life, because with the natural product, it was only of 3 days. And moreover, apart from that, the scalability issues were definitely there. Plus, we were getting feedbacks that with the restaurants, owners, and everybody, that they want a product which can be replicated across locations. We got support from NIFTM as well, so we developed a technology with their help, wherein we deconstructed the fruit into juice and pulp and reconstructed it back into that particular format in zero oxidation state, which increased the shelf life of the product from those 3 days to 3 months without any additives at all. So that was absolutely an amazing thing for us, because that it was solving the problems that restaurants were facing, because after 3 days the materials were going waste. Now they can have all these natural beverages at their location without any added preservatives or any sort of additives, and that has a shelf life of 3 months, so they won't be facing any problems with the wastage or with any of these, their inventory storage or any of this sort.
Okay, nice. So what was the challenge initial days when you started 2016? Was it engineering? Was it product development, or selling it to the consumer or a customer? You are B2B, right?
Yes.
So to a B2B, and how difficult it was?
So if I talk about the initial days, I would definitely say that it was absolutely difficult, because starting off and making people realize
Yes.
that they require this product is absolutely difficult, because we are living in India. In India, people at this point of time also, people would still go for that 10 rupees shikanji or the 10 rupee, 20 rupees orange juice they are getting at the street.
Correct.
So to make them understand the hygiene values, the natural things that they are consuming is absolutely difficult. Plus these Tropicanas and other Tetra packs that you're getting in the market, I mean, if you'll actually see, the actual content of the fruit is absolutely less. So to understand of the person's health and to make them realize, because nobody at this point of time reads the backside of the Tetra
That's
pack.
right. That's right.
So that was one thing that we focused on. We made people understand the requirement, because in Delhi also it's full of pollution. So at least once you're leaving home, I'm pretty sure that nobody today as well goes and takes apple or some other fruit with them and consume fruits on a daily basis, because it becomes really difficult. So having this small pack in your fridge, or maybe on your daily basis, if you have 30 packs in your freezer and you're consuming one of them on a daily basis, it will hardly take a minute to consume. So to make them understand was the biggest challenge that was there, but eventually making them understand our product was difficult, but we were able to do that.
So basically, when you talk about any product of such kind which is targeting to consumer eating habit or drinking habits or a health hygiene and all, the biggest thing come is differentiation, because there are so many products available, right?
Sure.
on the shelf, on the counters, or on the B2C market. So how did you differentiate it, and what is that USP of your product which a consumer look for today, and that's why you are getting sale in terms of B2B sale?
Right. So first of all, I would like to let you know about B2B and B2C. So initially we did not pitch B2C. We started off with B2B, considering the fact that once we are gain that much of traction around the restaurants and everywhere else, then our focus would be to match up with the B2C market.
Okay.
So as of now, we don't want to be a next product lying on the shelf and after 3 days coming back to us.
Okay.
Talking about our USP, it's just that the product that we create is 100% natural. We do not use any pasteurization method or anything. It's just a raw fruit in a packet that you are consuming. Either these other players are using these HPP HPP plants, which require a huge investment. So what we have done is we have cut down all these costs. We have developed this particular technology in-house, and we are providing this to our clients. So that is one of the USP of us, because we are providing all the natural beverage in a packet, which is sort of ready to drink format, and you can take it as your own convenience at your office or maybe at your home, depending on your particular choice.
Yeah. So when anybody start a company at this stage, like 2016, you started. The biggest thing every mentors and everybody says that be consistent in what you're doing, be focused and all that. In your scenario, when you started your idea of creating this, was there any change later on in the plan because of that, or you continue to do what you thought of, or you change things in between as the market progressing or as the product is progressing? So what is their learning for new is entrepreneurs today?
So absolutely, learning is something which is there every now and then. So the day we started, we had a different mindset. By gradually, while we were into the market, we were actually in those shoes to understand what exactly the market wants. So obviously, we require some sort of addition or advancement in our technology, in our processes, to match up with what market requires, how we can add value to them.
Right.
So at that point of time, we started, as I said, we started with cold press, but you were getting n number of cold press juices in the market.
Yes.
So we wanted to be something which is differentiated. We want something which the market can actually accept that, considering the fact that this is something which is not available in the market, and at the same time it is adding value to my lifestyle. So at that point of time, we changed from the cold press juices. We developed on the technology side of our business, and we made these proprietary packages. So earlier we used to bottle these cold press juices. Now we have shifted the entire business model to these packs, these small packs, which are the defrozen packs. You can, a business or a B2B restaurants can save it at their inventory or supply chain cost. Because if I speak to a restaurant today, their pain point is that it could be a possibility that today 50 customers can opt for a mango juice.
Yes.
It could be a possibility that today there won't be any of them.
Correct.
So that is a perishable item. It can go bad at any point of time, and at the end of the day, the restaurant will lose money. So if they have with us into picture, they will remove all these hindrances in their market. If they are focused towards food or beverage, their beverages are sorted with us. If they have a particular alignment that 300 is their monthly consumption for say, so they will purchase 300 packs from us. These 300 packs will make 300 drinks. It will neither make 299, neither it will make 301. So any lame person whosoever is there, they will not face in actually numbering all those items and to manage that particular inventory. That's a portion thing that they have. Plus the biggest point is, because if you have a restaurant, then there is a special person who makes coffee. There is a special person who is trained on making smoothies. So you don't have to particularly invest on that person's cost.
Correct.
So you just have a simple SOP. You have to pay, tear that packet, add relevant amount of milk, yogurt, water, or soda, whatever is mentioned on the packet, or you want. Just add it, blend it, and give it away. It will save your cost.
So continue to evolve the product is important.
True.
And continue to do a research on how it is going, and then keep improving on that is very important. It is not necessary that the way you started continue to be that way, but you have to evolve over the period of time. So Palak, coming back to the important thing, for any organization to run, what is required is a cash flow.
Yes.
And the funds, right? Either it comes from customer, or it start with investor and then subsequently come with customers. So what was your time when you raised the first fund, and what has worked for you?
So if I remember, since May 2016, we bootstrapped this business.
Sure.
So our thought was to create a product which is outstanding, and post that basis on the product, we should go in the market and ask for money in case we require, because it's not always important that you raise funds.
Correct.
So till 2018, we were bootstrapped. In December 2018, we planned for raising funds because we wanted to get funds for expansion. As I said, we initially were doing everything manually. This entire production was a manual production. We wanted to scale up to this semi-automated plant. For that, we require money for expansion, for hiring and all. So we started with this in December 2018. We pitched to certain angel investors. We pitched to certain funds as well. I would rather say there were a couple of things wherein we were getting term sheets and as well, but certain parameters or points which were not favorable. So we had to drop that idea. So while we were in touch with a couple of angel investors, so there were investors who wanted us to initially start with B2C. There were a couple of them who pitched us, no, you should go B2B. Now it was our decision, our thought, what exactly we want to do.
Yeah,
because what happens when there is investor into picture, there are a couple of startups who actually follow what their investors want them to do just for the sake of getting money.
Yeah.
So we have a certain mindset that after 2 years or after 4 years, we want to see ourselves at this place. So we followed what we thought, whatever investors that we were getting, and they were adding value to what we thought. They were helping us. They were onboarded, and that's how we raised and closed our round in June 2019 this year.
Okay, so that is your first round of capital you raised. So what is that one thing, if you want to say, that has worked for sure of this round, which was favorable to your whatever you wanted, and it understood by investor very well, that this is the strong part of your USP?
So I would say the product says it all. So I have one of the investor who visit us recently, and he said one particular thing to us that was literally mind-blowing and very important for us as well. He said that whosoever it is saying that your product is not worthy, I would say that he's mad. So when you get these kind of words from somebody, from an investor, because you can always boast about your product to anybody, because you know how to sell that. But if a second person comes back to you saying that how your product worked and how it is helping the market, that is something that I think that is adding value to us, letting us grow on a day-to-day basis, giving us that confidence that no, we are absolutely doing something which is amazing, that can help the world grow, help the world to get healthier. And I think that's one of the things that investors also believe in us. And definitely the sales and all is definitely which is required, because after you make a product, it is definitely required that you have to present yourself, you have to prove yourself in the market as well, that yes, you have created a product, but at the end of the day, your product is being liked in the market. It's being accepted in the market. People are coming back with a good feedback. So that's something which
worked for you. Yeah. Coming back to again early stage entrepreneurs who are actually watching this your interview, and they want to definitely learn out of it, is funding is one thing, but at the same time, when you are going to B2B, and the customers whom you are selling your product, and they are probably stocking it, right, for the period of time, because it is their own life, so they're stocking it. What is that important for a entrepreneur, any entrepreneur who is into B2B business? What they should keep few things in mind when they are doing B2B sales? Any learning for them?
Absolutely. So to all the entrepreneurs which are there in this market, I would rather give them one particular learning, that whenever you are into B2B business, it's not a one-time or a short-term thing. Because B2C could be possibly one customer who is taking your bottle and going away, but not might come back. But when we are talking about B2B, it is a long-term association.
Absolutely.
So you have to be very, very sure of what exactly you are doing. You are pitching to a B2B client. I would suggest never to oversell. So if a particular brand says that they sell somewhere around 300 smoothies a month, let them know, buy 150. Never sell them 600 or above, whatever their major requirements are. when you have that particular value, they will always come back to you saying that your product is amazing, now I'm going to reorder that to you.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that's one of the things a person or anybody in the business has to make sure that that will add value to your product as well, that they will give you a good feedback. It's not necessary that you will oversell and at the end of the day the business will come back saying that you take your things back because it's not getting sold out properly.
Correct.
So that's one of the things that will, because they are also testing something for the first time, they would definitely require that it should be a limited stock, it should go well, and then I'll reorder again.
Correct. In terms of when you talk about sustainability into B2B market, word of mouth and then a consistent buying from that customer is very important. I fully agree with you. Coming back to the idea stage or a productization stage, when we are thinking about building a product, any learning which you want to give it to entrepreneurs when they build a product like yours or in any other industry as well, what is that two things or one thing they should keep in mind?
So entrepreneurs should always follow their passion, because unless you don't have a passion for what exactly you do, after a certain period of time you will get bored.
Yeah.
If you'll see today, I have couple of friends who goes to office daily, and one thing which I hear from their end is, no, I don't want to go today, every other day. But when you are into a particular startup, when you are doing something, when you're building an idea, a product, that zeal automatically comes in. You will feel so good that no, next morning I have to do this. This is something that will make my day. So that zeal will only come if you have that passion of building that idea or product. So I think that's one of the things you should have in yourself, and automatically your hard work is something which will pay value for.
Great. So when you talk about when we go and talk about on this topic that working population of our country or anywhere ultimately is bound to work in certain boundaries or limitations. They can only explore limited things in their jobs and passion, whatever they do, and people say, oh, Monday morning again, type kind of a feeling that comes. So coming back to this thing, that consistency, that where you say that any entrepreneurs who work has to be done consistently for a startup to grow every day and every way. Is there any point of time you face the challenges as a company or as a founder when building the startup and you felt that better to give up? Any thought come sometime like that? Truly, during the journey?
Absolutely. So in fact, the challenges are something which comes on a daily basis. I mean, today as well, once I'll go back to office, I'm sure there will be one challenge waiting for me. Absolutely. So it's a daily challenge thing which is there in our life, and we are open to accept it positively and to fix that. But going back to the scenario where we started in 2016, so at that point of time there were multiple things that came in our mind to give it up, because at that point of time Shubham was working full time, I was managing along with my job and working on the weekends as well, to ensure that because we were bootstrapped, we never asked anything from our parents, that was all from the savings. So there has to be some sort of monetary flow that should be there. So at that time there were scenarios when we were a bit confused which side to go. People were telling us, no, you should go to B2C, launch your products to Daily Ninja, to here, to there, to these partners. There were people who were letting us know, enter B2B. Now, both the things were really challenging. And to actually identify where exactly to go and how to get that acceptance was actually challenging. Because the initial first or two clients, because unless once you get these clients on board, you get that credibility in your business. So I would say for the first 5 restaurant partners on your portfolio will easily give you the 6th client, but the first 3 or the first 5 were absolutely challenging,
critical.
So plus every day monetary value is involved. Now when you have 4 to 5 persons in team as well, they are your liability. You have to ensure that you will not take money home, but at the end of the day you have to give them salary. So these are the challenges that our startup face on a daily basis, because these are the people who has helped you from day one. Now it's your responsibility to make sure that they are also well established, they have family to run. So you can, run on your particular savings, but to make sure they stand next to you, you have to take care of them.
Now there are other people associated, and other lives are associated with the startup. Yeah, that's very important, and obviously that becomes a bigger responsibility on our shoulder, that we continue to work. Coming back to, since you touched upon the people side, um, these days are very hard to have a retain or hire a talent, right, from the market. So what is that thing which makes LQI to hold the team together and work for a bigger vision, which you are maybe I'll talk about it a little later, that what are your future visions to match that, because in any organization the people who are actually makes it or breaks it. Absolutely. Right. So, and you have to work with the people. True. And this is one of the I always talk to the entrepreneur whom I mentor, that you need to learn how to work with people. Absolutely. That is very critical. Absolutely. So what is that one or two things you would like to share to other entrepreneurs, or maybe share your experience which is happening in LQI? So I would say we are a very small team of around 15 people as of now, out of which I would say around 10 are women, and the remaining are the 5 men. So because we always wanted to take women on board, because we find that they are very, very focused towards whatever they do. Okay. So I talk to my these employees on a daily basis, and the kind of zeal, passion they have to learn something on a daily basis is outstanding. They always come back to me saying that I have found this something new. I want to learn and explore more. A degree won't make any difference, right, if a person is not willing to work, or they don't have that particular zeal while coming to office daily. So that is something that we require from with our team. And one thing which keeps our team intact is that they can always come with their inputs. So if I talk about, there are people who at times feel really shy, or they think that if I go to my boss or if I'll go to my manager, what will they think about it? Right. So if I'm asking a relevant question, is it an irrelevant question? So these are certain things that keeps a person in dilemma. So we want our team to be absolutely free from all these things in their mind. They can always come back with their suggestions, opinions, feedbacks if they have any issues. So that will make our team very transparent. If they have any problem with any particular thing, they can always come to us. So that is one of the things that keeps our team intact. Sure. So one question for people who are youngster, right, coming out of the college, and many people, most of the majority people look for a job, yes, right, then the business. What is the message for them? Why should they be joining startup versus joining look for a job in the bigger corporate? So it is absolutely, their will if they want to join a corporate or a startup. But I would rather suggest that if somebody is looking forward to join a startup, they should be ready to take risk. Yeah, yes. Because that is a part of your life, or on a daily basis. So unless you're not ready to take risk, I would suggest take a job which is very cushy for you. You can learn, definitely you can learn a number of things there, but you will be constrained to one particular thing. In startup, you have n number of things to explore and learn on a daily basis. Right, that's very important. That is something which is very important for the youngsters. They should always explore options. If they are ready to take challenges, definitely go for startup. Never look back, and I'm sure you will fly in with colors. But if you are a bit, skeptical about it, go for corporate life. That is also amazing. So it's your responsibility to choose what you are looking for. Absolutely. Coming back to entrepreneurs again, in the entire journey of the business from 2016, earlier you were working also, and all of your co-founders were working, and then you took the risk, and then you started a business. What is the importance of mentors in the business when you set up, or when you grow, or when you're growing now? Yes. Also, and how do you find a good mentor?
So I would I would answer your question with a small example. So if I talk about a child, their parents, onboard them to a school. Why? They can learn everything at home as well. But there is a teacher who can always train them, who can make them realize what they are good at, what they are bad at. Because a parent is always going to understand or to make sure that his child is absolutely great, but it's a teacher, a mentor, who is going to tell them what they need to improve on.
Correct.
What they need to correct on, what will take them to right path. So a mentor is just like that. For us, we have been very fortunate to get couple of mentors who mentor us, who come to us on a monthly basis to review us, to make us understand where we are lacking, what exactly we need to focus on,
Sure.
where we need to improve on, what we can do, how we can project ourselves for the coming month, or maybe after 4 months, 5 months. That is absolutely required, because unless you don't have a short term or a long term goal, you're never gonna succeed.
Absolutely.
So a mentor is just like a person who is standing next to you, holding your hand, helping you out, and letting you fly with colors.
Thank you, Palak. Thank you for time today, first of all, and you accepted our invite of joining for this interview talk at a very short notice. And thanks for traveling early morning from far. Actually, right? And let's continue the discussion over the period of time, and we'll be syncing up. It's immense learning for you guys, and you need to follow the youngsters who are taking it forward. And if you are starting your business or about to start a business, these are the couple of learning you can take away from various entrepreneurs, investors who are coming on our board, on our mentor card. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ashish. Pleasure coming here, sharing my thoughts, my challenges, and a very, very great future for you all guys, whosoever is looking forward to work with startup. It's an amazing journey if you're up for it. So great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.